I suppose we should just get started with our very first challenge, as always. For our very first challenge, hold on a second. I'm getting a emergency notification from the producers. Hold on one second. Code red, code orange, and code yellow. Hold on. Okay, hi everybody. As we know, the apocalypse that is happening is throwing a wrench into everything. It seems like nothing is going to go to plan. I had built 3 seats at the cusp of a volcano for our final 3 to sit at for final tribal. And I just received word that the volcano actually erupted out of nowhere. Really frustrating. Fortunately, they were able to get a couple of the seats out in time, but I'm so sorry. The 3rd seat was burnt to a crisp, which means unfortunately we're not doing a final 3. We have to do a final 2 for this season. And I'm so sorry. I can't control the volcano, the seismic activity of this planet. It is just something that we're going to have to deal with going forward. But that being said, this whole code red, code orange, code yellow thing has really inspired me for our next challenge. So let's just do it. First person to bring back an object that has red, orange, and yellow will win immunity, or 3 objects with 1 color of each. Go. And just like that, Kath has won immunity.
Oh, that feels fucking good. I'm going to say that right now.
Okay. Wonderful. Well, there's our first challenge over and done with. Just like that. Kath, you have won immunity. Congratulations.
Feels really good. Feels really, really, really good.
Yes, wonderful. Let's give y'all 10 minutes, 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes. I'll check in at 5:45, see how we're feeling. We'll get started with our very first tribal council. All right.
I couldn't even comprehend that he said to do something until Kath had put it in the screen. I was like, what?
That was also fast.
Yeah, it's too much to process.
I'm still looking around my room to see if there's anything that I could have done quicker.
Okay, everybody, let's start coming back. The tribal council, here we are. Kath, you must feel amazing, as you said before.
Yeah, I might as well just jump in. I feel pretty good because I think once you've heard your name consistently through murmurs and all of that, even if you have a big personality, it can still kind of make you quake in your boots. So
totally,
it's nice to feel protected, and I really want to thank my work planner for this opportunity. Sure. But yeah, I'm still shaking because I think, and this has been said in previous tribal councils, I think the beauty about Zoom Survivor is that the work is never done. We're still talking, we're still scheming, shit can hit the fan, a la #big move from last week's tribal.
Sure.
So, just wanted to say that everything is bound to shift whether we like it or not.
Okay. When you say that you've heard rumors of your name, do you mean throughout the game or recently in the past?
Oh, recently, probably within the past 10 minutes, actually.
Oh, really? Is that a big change from your experience throughout the game?
No, I wouldn't say that, because I think that, it's funny because a lot of us have theater backgrounds, so a lot of people look at me, they're like, she's got a big personality. She's too confident. But we all have to understand that we all come from the theater world.
Right.
So
sure.
It's kind of shocking when I hear that, because if you're playing with a lot of theater people, there must be something swimming below the surface too.
Interesting. Lena, how much would you say people are basing who is a threat and who isn't by the social game that Kath may be speaking about?
I think the social game is really hard in this kind of setting because some people just choose to not be social. And that's really hard when you try to reach out to people and they just don't respond. They're never online. It's really hard to make those connections. If we were on an island, you can't walk away forever.
Right.
But right here, social game wise and threat wise, I don't think there's a correlation 100% with that. I think there can still be, I don't think there's a direct correlation between someone being social and their threat. It's just about knowing who to talk to and I guess how to talk to them.
Okay, for sure. Renee, I'm just going to pick on you. Would you say that is also your experience, that there are times where you reach out to people and they just don't get back to you?
I'd say that at the beginning of this entire thing, it was definitely the case, but now that there's only 8 of us, it is definitely more pertinent for people to respond, and they have been responding. So
Gotcha. Okay. Ian, now that there is only 8 of us, what's your sense in terms of how malleable alliances are? Is it still set in stone, or is it getting down to it where people are going to start having to betray each other?
Yeah, so I see these alliances kind of like, not set in stone, more like set in bubble gum. Some
Okay.
of them are the bubble gum that's stuck underneath the table and has been kind of dried out and crusty and just sitting there forever. But every now and then you may want to pull that piece of bubble gum out and chew on it a little bit, so it's a little more malleable.
Okay.
But I mean, there are some people in this, in this game who are set like that crusty piece of bubble gum underneath the table. Some people just aren't. They're not budging for anyone.
I'm not gonna, no shade, no tea, no shade if you don't want to, but who are those crusty people?
The game is afoot, Ethan, so
Okay.
I think I'm going to keep that,
Fair
quiet.
enough. Does anybody want to say? I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Vince, would you say at this point in the game it is in your best interest to be a malleable piece of gum or a crusty, crunchy piece of gum that is set?
Honestly, from the announcement of the final 2, I think that opens a lot of doors to being more malleable, because I think that's a lot of people were worried about, oh, if I'm going into alliance of 5 with me and somebody else, now there's only 3 people, there's 3 people on the other side. Now I have a lot more to worry about. But now that only one other person you can go with, just because there's an alliance of 5 doesn't necessarily, or an alliance of 3 and an alliance of 5 doesn't necessarily mean anything, because one of those 3 is going to be on the bottom, and you can use that to your advantage. So I think it opens a lot more doors, and I think that's kind of what the benefit of this game, and especially that announcement is that we have a lot more flexibility within the game.
Okay. Lucy, did the final 2 announcement change things for your game plan going forward?
This could be, super naive. I feel like it didn't change it a whole lot, because I'm thinking more the next couple, just trying to make it through. So for me, it was shocking, but not a game changer.
Okay. Matt, what about you? Just from the outside, it's been a little bit difficult to like place your place in this game. How did you feel in regards to the final 2 twist?
It's weird because I think prefer a final 3, but I think this game, I have not been able to find my footing for even a single second. So at this point, if there's something that can stir up hopefully a little bit of chaos with other people, then that sounds great. Brings me maybe a little bit closer to average. So I think, and I also think in general, I mean, there are 8 people left. There are 6 votes before final 2. If I'm worried about final 3 versus final 2 with 8 people left, it means I'm probably not at where my head is supposed to be at right now.
Okay.
So we'll focus on final 2 when there are, 3 people left.
Okay, sure. And Lisa, do you also agree that it's best to not plan too far ahead?
Yeah, I think just based on what we've seen so far, every week is kind of a curveball. So I think it could be risky to plan far ahead, because then those plans could just go up in flames.
For sure. Yeah, for sure. Okay. Does anybody have anything else they would like to say before we get to the vote? Actually, I have something to say. Kath, why were you hearing your name if you have immunity?
Oh, actually, well, to be honest with you, I've been kind of weighing this back and forth because, Ethan, you really want some tea. And I feel like the last time you asked for tea, we got the fucking Boston Tea Party. No pun intended. I know there are a lot of you from Lexington on this call. Because I think that there are some people who, okay, let's be transparent here. We all have seen Survivor. We all know the game. We understand the game. We respect the game. I don't care if one of you says, I've never seen it. We've all fucking seen it. Some of you have played this game before. Some of you have not, and this is your first time playing, but you've seen the fucking game. Now, the whole thing is, people make big moves. People blindside people. Games get fucked up, Like Robbie being like tossed last time fucked me up. He was an alliance of mine. And I'm out here trying, like, I have no upset. I am not upset. I do not hold being upset if like somebody fucks up my game, because like I know the fucking game. Like we've all watched it, right? So it's just kind of funny to me when people try to play the game and doubt people's intelligence during it.
Okay.
And I think that that's kind of a hoot and a holler, because of course there's this whole thing with your ego, you're like, I'm not affected by this, but this is also a game. So I feel constantly pushed and pulled when I do hear my name. And I hear it from people who, have like paved the way and said, oh, I trust you. I'm going to take you to the end, man. Like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's just kind of funny when you can see through the bullshit. I can spill a lot of tea right now, but it's like, okay, do I want to have it come bite me in the ass? Would I rather be a jury member who went out with a bang, or do I want to hold on till the end? Yeah, I just think that there's some flip-floppers amongst us. We're at a pancake competition and somebody's flip-flopping away. And I think that, to go off what Vince said about, hey, you have alliances and all that bullshit, there's a bottom of that alliance. There is a bottom. And if you don't know where the bottom is, it could be you. So that's my fucking advice here.
Okay.
And, I'm not saying bring the most honorable to the end. I can't lecture. I've never played this fucking game, but just think about the flip-floppers, because if they get to the end, they have a good damn story. So that's my little firecracker for this tribal council. Maybe I'll let off some more steam the next one.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
You've been asking for a bit, and we're all really tight-lipped, and we're all most of us are theater people. Like, what the fuck? Like, we've all been in incestuous relationships, guys. We've all been in a cast, and we've fucked 2 people from the cast. Why are we being tight-lipped now? Come on.
I've wondered that since season 1 of running Zoom Survivor. I've wondered why the tribal councilors are always so tight-lipped. I mean, I know why. People are afraid.
They want to stir the fucking pot, but like, that's not fun.
Of course.
Like, to be honest with you, I feel at the fucking bottom, but you know what? That's a fucking game. Let's pop off. Let's have some fun. Yeah. So just don't count your chickens before they hatch, everybody.
Okay.
Sign off the old crone known as Calf.
Sure. But Matt, you had said during this tribal that you felt unequivocally at the bottom. Was Kath saying that she feels like she's on the bottom? Does that surprise you?
I think in the spirit of Kath wanting to loosen the lips a little bit, it does surprise me to hear that she thinks she's on the bottom. I think, and of course it doesn't change, where I think about my position, but it is interesting to know that it does sort of feel like a lot of groups, like it's easy to look out at sort of the rest of the players and think, oh my goodness, sort of like they must all be so tight, they have it all figured out. And it is a little bit nice to know that other people can be as panicking as you are. But
well, yeah, when nobody's fucking on Discord for a week, you're like, okay, are we on Survivor? Like, come on.
I turned in my thesis 2 days ago.
Wow.
I'm not passing judgment on you, Matt. You've been communicative. There are some people who aren't and are texting, I think, right now, but I find it very comical, so to speak. That's all.
Matt, respect, do what you need to do, but do you feel like it is the truth that people are strategizing, planning all week up to the session?
It's hard to say. I've received Discord messages. Most of them are typically just like, hey, like, what's going on? I don't know if I've necessarily received a hardcore, like, we need to plan at like 10 a.m. on a Tuesday.
Okay. Yeah.
But you know who's messaging you. I guess the question is, the people who aren't messaging you, Is it because they aren't messaging, or is it because they aren't messaging you?
Exactly. Yeah, that's tough. Especially with Zoom Survivor, like what Lena was saying, you can't just see who's walking on the beach. All right.
No.
Well,
you
I
can't.
appreciate the candidness. Unless anybody else has anything they want to say, I'll open up the voting booth. Wunderbar.
I would just like to say to the Survivor community that although you did not see that, it felt really good, and I wish I could recreate it all for you. Yes, Kath went on this extremely long tangent, and she might have gone off the rails, but I would also like to say, I'm sorry, Kath, I love you, I adore you, let's still be friends after this, but that house might gain an extreme amount. I'm so sorry, but it feels good to have a play finally go well. I think we have an idea for the next one, but literally the last time I said that, shit went to all hell. So will not say that. I'm going to take it back. Just say I'm feeling a lot better after this round. I think we can finally do this. So I will see you all at the final two, hopefully.
Okay, so I think that I'm in the right place at the right moment. I think that we've finally gotten a good group that can work together to get rid of the terrible trio of Kath, Vinz, and Lena, whatever her name is. I can't deal with them anymore, and I think we're finally gonna get them. I think this is it. I'm so excited. I despise them. I hated working with them for that period that I did, and I'm ready to see you guys go. Goodbye.
Little old me again. I think it's kind of pathetic. Nobody spilled some tea. This is just like a fucking fun Zoom game, but a lot of people took it personally. Lucy, who hasn't talked to me for the whole game without trying to blindside Lena, my alliance, like, she got real fucking pissy with me last time. She was like, just so you know, I never said that, but you want to trust Ian. And I'm like, I don't. I also don't trust you. Like, come on. I've seen Survivor. But anywho, now, I think that I got a big target on my back, but I'm having fun. I'm feeling flirty. I'm feeling fine. I'm on like the tropical end of the island. So at this point, I might as well have fun with this game versus being so tense, which is like how I felt like I played the beginning part of the game. So we'll see what Tribal Council holds tonight. I think it could be a little saucy. We'll see. I just spilled Gatorade on myself. So please cut me off. Cut.
Yeah, all right. So, the unmitigated gall of a certain someone to call me a pancake and then call me out for questioning their intelligence. Whereas, the middle of every single week, here's Kath talking strategy. Next week, here's Kath talking strategy. Oh, the week after last session, Kath doesn't want to talk strategy no more to me, where she's done the same thing to Richie. So it's like you're questioning my intelligence. One of us is playing checkers. Maybe someone else is playing chess. I'm playing the 3D chess where you got pieces here in the middle and down below, and I'm moving pieces from this board to this board to this board. Kath is on the bottom board for me. I've moved on. Maybe she should too, or else she's going to get voted out next.
So I'm very stressed. Kath won immunity, and then that left a little bit of a power shift in going into tribal. I forget. Okay, so I knew there was like definitely a 4-4 even split, like kind of going into it. And I had been talking to some people before, but I feel like I'm definitely out of a lot of messages. I'm not really sure what it is. I can't tell if people think that I'm not playing. Clearly, Kath has some issues with me that I did not know, which is interesting because I feel like she has been the most shady about what she's been up to, but that's just me. And I think then I felt pretty torn between the two groups, and then I wasn't getting any feedback from the group of like Kath, Vinz, Lena. And so I knew that they were going after me or Lisa in some way was my guess, which I was right. So then I went with the other group. So we'll see if they hold. But I'm very scared because clearly there's a little bit of a problem that people are having with me, which is interesting. Oh, wish me luck.
To recap everything that's been going on, last time we had tribal, according to Ian, Robbie flipped something and that's how he got voted out, but whatever. But so then Ian comes back to us being like, okay, that was weird, but like we're still good to work together, right? And then Lucy hits me up being like, hey, like I don't want to work with you, like I don't trust Ian. And Ian's like, I don't trust Lucy. And I'm like, they can't think I'm that dumb. But I was gonna go home again today, and that's stressful. Ethan, when you're editing this, Charlie from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, trying to map everything out in that like frantic look. That's literally all I've been doing, is trying to map stuff out on my whiteboard. So I was like, oh, this does not add up. So I'm so happy that I saved my ass again. This, like, I don't know why it keeps being me. Like, what, like Matt doesn't do anything but like not talk to people. And I mean, it is true. Like maybe he's just not talking to me. But I don't know. He keeps trying to like talk about like big brain moves, but he doesn't make any. So I don't know. This whole game is kind of messy, but I'm really happy I get to see at least another tribal. Hopefully I can live to see next week too. But yeah, my tea is just that like I'm not mad that people are trying to play me. That's part of the game. It's just annoying that they think I'm dumb enough to believe it.
Well, I finally got a vote right, so that feels good. I still feel like I'm on the bottom, but I don't. It's weird. This game is weird.
All right, I'm going to do some work for the challenge on my end, but in the meantime, I'm gonna repost the map and you all may search
Oh, Jesus Christ.
3 places as soon as I post the map. Okay, everybody. So for this challenge in Survivor, they do this in Real Survivor. They have everybody fill out this questionnaire. I am now going to go through the questionnaire again, one by one, and you are again going to privately message me your answers. But this time you're trying to guess who got the most votes on each question. If you get a question right, you get a point. I'll tally up the points. And then whoever wins or ties whoever wins will win immunity. This person cannot stop strategizing. Number 1. Lena gets a point. Kath gets a point. Vins gets a point. Ian gets a point. Okay, and Renee gets a point. Correct answer was Kath. Kath got the most points for this one. Most votes.
The target's growing, everybody. I can feel it.
Number 2, this person has my back. Who do you think got the most votes for this question? This person has my back. Nobody got that right. The correct answer was Kath or Renee. It was a tie. All right, number 3. I know. Number 3, this person will stab my back. Vins gets a point. Renee gets a point. Kath gets a point. Ian gets a point. Lena gets a point. Correct answer was Ian.
The Pancake Man.
The Pancake Man. Number 4. We have, number 4. This person makes me laugh. All right, Lena gets a point. Vins gets a point. Renee gets a point. Kath gets a point. And Lucy gets a point. Correct answer was Kath. Kath makes me laugh.
Guys, you're making me feel so young, fun and flirty. Thank you.
Is anybody else 0 for 4?
Nope, just you, Matt.
Pretty
All
sweet.
right. Lucy's kind of with you at 1. All right.
I want to say when I answered almost across the board the right people. I've just been guessing wrong.
Well, maybe your luck will turn. Here we go. Number 5. I am not surprised that this person is still in the game. Number 5. not surprised that this person is still in the game. Ian gets a point. Vince gets a point. And Kath gets a point. Correct answer was Vince. Not surprised that Vince is still in the game, but who are we surprised? Oh, I took that question out. Sorry. You said that question, but I took it out. This number 6. This person could actually survive alone on an island. Okay, number 6. This person could survive on an island. Ian gets a point. Matt is not on the board just yet. Sorry, Matt. Lucy gets a point. Kath gets a point, up to 5 in the lead, and Lena gets a point. Correct answer was Matt.
Woohoo.
Alrighty, number 7. This person has an advantage. And let's see, Ian gets a point up to 5. Renee gets a point up to 4. Matt, you are on the board at 1. Lucy gets a point, 3. And that is it. Correct answer was either Kath or Lena. It was a tie. Oh no, this is number 7.
Oh shit, did you say 8?
You know what, number 8, we're not even gonna go over it because of that. All right, so Vince, you are actually at 4. Ian was good, and then I didn't give anybody else a point.
I should be at 4 too.
Yep.
Okay.
So Ian and Kath are tied at 5. So sorry. So the correct answer for that one was either Matt or Kath.
Oh, okay.
The
Got it.
number 8, under no circumstances can this person win immunity. Kath and Lena got the most answers for that question. Number 9, this person has been under the radar. All right, this person's been under the radar. Lena gets a point up to 5. Renee gets a point up to 5. Vince gets a point up to 5. And Kath gets a point up to 6. Answer to 9 was Vince. All right, number 10. Final question. Kath, you are in the lead with 6 points. Ian.
You
Vince,
know, I talk about the target, but let's make it a little bit smaller,
we'll
please.
see. Number 10. This person will put the $100 grand prize to good use. Let's see your answers, please. Kath, you are incorrect. All right, let's see. Lena, you are correct. Up to 6. Matt is correct, up to 2. And that is it. The correct answer was Kath. All right, so I'm just gonna.
Wow, I'm really honored by that.
Okay, everybody, please privately message me an answer to this question. You are answering this the same way you did the first time. We're just going to do a tiebreaker for Kath and Lena. The question is, the one that I took off this time, I am surprised that this person is still in the game. Everybody, including Kath and Lena, please send me your answers to this question. Answer honestly, based on how you feel. I am surprised that this person is still in the game. I'm just going to tally up. Okay, we have an answer. All right, now Lena and Kath, please tell me, send me privately who you think got the most votes just now.
Oh, okay.
You both said the correct answer. So I think it's just in the stars. You both win immunity. I think that's what the survivor gods are trying to tell me right now. Congratulations.
Oh, Ethan, thank you so fucking much.
No problem. No problem. All right, everybody. We will proceed to tribal council. Let's give you 5 minutes. Let's give you 5 minutes. I'll check in 5 minutes, see how we're doing. All right. See y'all soon. Bye. We're going to start tribal. Please welcome back Philip Merrick, who will be spectating. Wonderful. And please welcome back Richie. From the jury. Jury members, something y'all have missed from this session is the twist of the season. Twist is we're having a final 2, not a final 3. And seems like things were really crazy last time. A lot of things unsaid became said. Kath, You had immunity last time and people still were bringing up your name, and now you have immunity yet again. Are people still bringing up your name?
I mean, no, I've gotten a lot of direct messages of people being pissed off, but you know what? It's a game, you know,
Wait.
nobody's talking. Somebody's got to talk. You got to get before you get got. And I figured, you know, we're at the final 7. We got to loosen up a little bit, team,
Okay.
you know?
People have been messaging you
Oh,
saying
yeah.
that they are mad at you.
Yes, 1,000%
Really?
actually.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because like we did the voting thing and I was like, I'm gonna fucking lose this. I'm leaving. I'm straight up walking out the door right now in my Crocs with my new gibbets on them. They're really fun and flirty for the island. But yeah, it was kind of crazy to see people's perception of me with votes. Like I did not think that I would be the biggest target, have people's back, and do the most with the money. Like that's crazy to me because you know, I think again, what I was speaking about before was the theatrics of Survivor. You know, you come on, you jazz it up a little bit, but I thought that was very, very interesting. But yeah, people have been messaging me, you know, the nice hard bubble gum and the pancake flipper, you know, classic shit.
I never said anyone was hard bubblegum. I was clearly
You
called a
said that
pancake.
the alliances were like bubblegum, my friend. So that's
Yeah, that's
equating
not
us
like,
to people
Kath
pieces
is a piece
of
of
gum,
steel
you know?
bubblegum underneath the table. I never said your name.
No, but you were hinting at it, and I wish you had the
It
balls to
certainly was
say my
not you.
name
Was
because then I
not
would
about you.
respect you a little bit more.
But while we're
That's how it
spilling the
goes,
tea
you
and
know?
talking about blindsides, are you going to eventually admit that you were the one that orchestrated the Richie blindside, or is that just going to kind of go under
And
the rug
you,
or under
and
the
you were
hard
the person
bubblegum
who
table?
flipped and then got Robbie off. So you really want to do tit for tat? Let's fucking do it. Let's
Ian
go
keeps
toe to toe.
pretending that it wasn't him, which cracks me up
We can
though.
do-
Oh my God.
He
I
said
literally
Robbie got
gave you an
himself voted
opportunity
out.
to be like, hey, it was
That
me.
was
I said I
funny.
respected the move. I said all that. And you were like, I didn't flip. I did not
But
flip.
Kath, if I
I would be at the
would you work
bottom
with
of an
me?
alliance if I flipped. Come on, Ian. I'm not
But
dumb.
Kath, if
I saved you
admitted,
twice in
would
this
you work with
game.
me?
It
But
would
Kath,
make
if
you
I
a better
admitted, would you
person if
work
you
with me?
owned up to like your.
No, because
that was a
somebody
good
flipped
thing
the
that you
last
did.
vote and
Own
they
up to it.
apologized for it. Whereas you fucking didn't. What were you saying, Ethan? We've sidetracked from your questions.
That's okay. No, that's okay. Ian, do you how does it feel to have the bus being thrown? I mean, I need to be honest a little bit. I honestly feel like the bus is only being thrown at you from Lena and Kath only. Everybody else is like, do you feel that that's the vibe, or do you think everybody is throwing you under the bus?
Yeah. You know, I agree with Kath when she says, you know, it's Survivor. You got to loosen up a little bit. So, you know, if Kath and Lena want to come at me, that's fine. You know what this all stems to? Kath wanted to vote out Lisa, and
Okay.
I, you know, was with them, and I said, you know what, I don't really want Lisa to go. So I tipped Lisa off. Hey, you know, they're gonna vote for you. So you may want to play an idol. And the idol got played, and then Kath's our name got written down, and she lost Robbie, who was a close friend of hers. So Kath went a week without talking to me, which is, you know, the cat. If she's gonna strategize, she's gonna strategize. So recently, she came out and was like, "Listen, you know, did you flip?" And listen, am I gonna say, "Yeah, Kath, I flipped on you"? Because then it's like, "Oh, you're not gonna work with me." So damn
I
if
never
you do,
said that.
damned if
That
you
was your
don't.
assumption of my character. And I would like to say that it's wrong. I'd like to say that it's wrong.
Okay, sure.
At this
Perfectly
point,
fine.
at this point, Lena, you seem like you're a little bit in the middle of this. Do you see any real chance that Ian and Kath are going to work together in the rest of this game?
No, not only from a strategic standpoint, I think they're on very different levels, but also just like, I don't know, it's one thing to like try to lie about you not being the mole, but I feel like Ian just gave very bad other reasons why it couldn't have possibly have been him. So that's what the annoying part is. It's like, we're not dumb, just either come up with a better lie or own up to it.
And I'd like to also state something because, you know, Ian has introduced about the Richie blind side, you know, Lucy, Lisa, and Ian. Lucy and Lisa, I have barely talked to. I'm just going to say that out right now. You guys could have messaged me instead of going to every other person in the game saying, who is responsible for voting Richie out? But you never did. That's the thing. You never did. So Ian, the fact that I'm the one talking to you directly and trying to get the tea, whereas you're like, I have an idol. It's our idol. It's for us. We're going to get to the end. And then not give me the real tea about the fact that you led that blindside, which was very impressive. you know, come on. Let's talk about it. Let's open it up. Let's do group therapy team.
But I didn't vote for Robbie. I didn't vote for him, so I
you
can't
tipped
own
him
that
off
blindside
about
because
the
I wasn't a
idol.
part of it.
No,
So
but you
Yeah,
tipped the idol
sure.
play.
To
Yes,
add
Lucy.
to this. So, Kath, I feel like you also really haven't messaged me, but I think it's interesting that you just
Because you
assume that
don't
I
talk to anybody. Everybody's told me that.
Lucy, you're never on and it takes you weeks
Yeah.
to respond to text messages. I have yeah.
well, that is true in all areas of my life. So it definitely
Which is
won't
fine,
change
which
for
is totally
Survivor.
fine.
If you let me finish though, is that okay?
That's fine.
Okay. So, what I was going to say is I think it's a real discredit to my intelligence that you think that I wouldn't know that you and Robbie voted Richie out and then vote Robbie out. So just
I don't
reflect.
understand. I'm so sorry. I'm not following your logic. You think that it's insulting to your intelligence that Robbie and I for Richie? I'm confused.
That's okay. That's all I wanted to say.
Fair enough. Matt, how is this tribal feeling for you? Are you feeling like the turmoil that's going on is nobody's been saying your name, this tribal?
That is true. No, and I'm grateful that people have not been saying my name. I mean, I think it is finally now time when I think people are starting to think less about week to week and more about resumes. And I'm not, maybe this is backtracking on what I said at last tribal, but you can use just whichever one gives the better soundbite. You don't have to mess with continuity. I think people are maybe starting to think about that. I think people are starting to think about the shape of their overall game and the arc of their overall game. And, you know, this like Ian versus Kath clash is quite the story. And it's just, I don't know. It's hard because part of me just wants to watch it as a Survivor fan and be like, this rocks. And then another part of me is trying to piece together like what this says about my relationship with Ian, with Kath, with other people, in terms of, you know, who's my ally for tonight and who's my ally, you know, for tomorrow and beyond.
Gotcha.
But in the meantime, it's a good fireworks show.
Yeah. Renee, do you find that your allies tonight are generally the same people in the next session, the session after, or does it switch every time?
I am so in the dark this time. I'm so concerned. I don't know what's going on. I wish I could say that I had a firm structure or anything of allies, but at this point, there's not. Like, I feel like I'm in between two trios and I don't know what to do.
Renee, can I ask you a question?
Sure.
Why'd you flip on me?
I don't
Like, I just want to know why.
I just
Like, I appreciate that you were honest with me after, but like, why?
I went with where the people said was going to be the most popular, and I apologize, and I'm sorry.
I mean, you were right. It was the most popular, but yeah. No, I get it. I was just wondering. Thank you.
No hard feelings.
Vince, what about you? How are you feeling as it gets later in the game? How much does your own like personal experience of what's happening factor in, like your own emotional? Are there hard feelings? Is it all just a game? Where are you in this?
Honestly, so the last month I went to Minnesota for a month and I was trying to work, or I was working, if my employer asked, I was working full time and trying to hang out with friends and see family and go to restaurants that I hadn't been to in over a year and a half. So honestly, I haven't had much time to put emotions. So I just kind of feel like I'm kind of going with whatever is in front of me and just kind of running straight at the wall, and we'll see what happens by the time I get there. But it just feels like I'm taking one step at a time. So good question. The sum it up is I don't think I have emotions right now. So I'm just kind of vibing.
Okay. Very cool. All right. Let's see what happens. Does anybody have anything they want to say before we get to the vote?
Is this where you want me to Or do you do that after when I do the thing? I give you the thing after the votes. Yeah, never mind. I'm good. Sorry.
No problem.
Actually, no, I actually have something to give, Ethan.
Yeah, what's up?
So, I have this good old little trick up my sleeve called steal and block a vote, and I'd like to utilize it for this vote.
Okay, whose vote would you like to steal?
So I would like to steal Lucy's vote.
Okay, Lucy,
It's a
you will
game,
not vote.
That's uncalled for. That's just weird, Lucy.
I flipped off everybody when I got my first vote, so no judgment from me.
Lucy, you will not vote, and in your place, Kath will vote twice.
All right, that wasn't meant to be that malicious.
So sorry, Lucy. All right, I will go into the voting booth, bring you in one by one. We will see who will become the 5th person to join the jury. Good luck, everybody. Can't vote for Kath or Lena.
Everybody's getting mad at me. The computer's getting mad at me. I am putting both my votes on Miss Lucy. I think you're a really strong player. I think you're great. Oh, you just messaged me apologizing. Oh my God, you're very sweet. I think you're a great player. I think you're strong as fuck, but if you're in my way, you gotta get got. So
I'm gonna go ahead and vote Vins because there's no other option here, and I'm gonna hope for the best.
I think I've used the analogy before, but I'm gonna be like a woodpecker in a petrified forest. Things all of a sudden not going my way, but I'm gonna keep pecking. I'm gonna keep pecking. Tonight, I'm voting Vins. I hate to see him go. I really like that guy. You don't hear him talking smack about me over a game, but it is what it is, and it's my only chance. But I'll need a miracle.
Sounds good. Did you want to? What was it you were asking me before?
I'm pretending like I have an idol that I don't.
That's what I thought, and then I worried that maybe I forgot something.
Can you put like a little heart next to Vince's name for me, though?
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you.
All right.
So we were originally going to vote for Ian and nullify his idol because I messaged him like, heard you got an idol. It was complete BS, but he was like, yep. And I was like, perfect. Gonna vote for you. We're going to nullify it. But Vince accidentally let that slip.
I mind fucked myself to oblivion. But hopefully this 3D chess is over after this vote, because we'll either be in a semi-majority or I will be out of the game. So with that, I would like to vote for Lucy.
This was supposed to be the easy one. Guess the lesson is there are no easy ones.
All right, for the final time tonight, I will read the votes, but before I do, if anybody has a hidden immunity idol and they would like to play it, now would be the time to do so. Okay, I will read the votes. Once the votes are read, the decision is final and the person voted out will be asked to leave the Zoom call immediately, become the 5th person to join our jury. Before we do, just for shits and giggles, there was an idol nullifier played. However, nobody played an idol, so I won't even reveal who the nullifier was played on. Toss it in the trash. Here we go. Alrighty. First vote, Lucy. Second vote, Vins. Third vote, Lucy. Fourth vote, Vins. 2 votes Lucy, 2 votes Vins. 5th vote, Lucy. 6th vote, Vins. That's 3 votes Vins, 3 votes Lucy, 1 vote left. The 5th member of our jury is Lucy. Lucy, I am so sorry. I'll add you to the jury Discord server. Need you.
Bye, everyone.
All right, everybody. Well, today felt like a session of family therapy. I've never been, but that's what I imagine it would be like. I'm really sorry about all the technical difficulties we had, and I really appreciate all of your patience as we went through it. Congratulations for making the final 6. You are one step closer to winning $100 and being the sole survivor. Thank you all so much. Stay tuned for scheduling our next session.
Night, y'all.
Everybody.